But let me tell y'all, it's a twist to this story. I am here for the quick fix. I need to get this done. I can't even work out. I'm gaining weight. Baby, I have gained like 5 or 6 pounds within time. Okay, guys, so we're going to get into this video. I'm going to tell you what happened to your girl. And stay to the end so you can get the full effect of what really happened, okay? Because you got to hear details by details. So I got to give you point A to get to point B, and then the next video is point C. You gotta get the whole story. So let's get into it. I'm gonna do my hair while we in process. Okay guys, so your girl had been MIA lately, and I'm sorry, this camera. Your girl has been MIA lately, and that's because I have been in and out of the hospital. Let me cover myself up. I've been in and out the hospital, and I've been going through something that you won't even imagine going through. But while I'm telling you my story, I'm gonna also do my hair. So I have my little clip scene already. It reminds you I'm not a hairstylist, so I'm just doing this to make myself feel beautiful because I have been looking a hot mess, like a bum. Okay, because of my condition. So everything literally flashes through my eyes Saturday morning at 6 a.m. or 6:30 after leaving work. I end up going to doing a store run and end up feeling lightheaded and very dizzy. And I'm looking in my mirror, guys, if you see me looking this way. So I end up going to the store to do a store run. And I ended up feeling real dizzy. It wasn't no cashier. So it was like I literally had to check myself out. So I felt dizzy. And I'm like, yeah, what's going on with me? Why I just feel like lightheaded? I'm sorry, these ain't the words like this. I feel lightheaded. I feel lightheaded, and so I'm like, God, just allow me to make it out of the store. So I made it out to the store to my vehicle, thank God. And I made it to my vehicle. It was a struggle to even put my bags up. It was a struggle to do anything. So I put my bags up. I called my fiance. And I'm like, I don't know what just happened. It was like something just literally came to my body and I'm not even able to function like I was before. So I was kind of scared because, my mom had a seizure and a stroke. My father also had a seizure and a stroke. So I was like, I haven't felt like this before. What's the problem? So I said, God, allow me to make it home because my fiance, he was at work. I said, allow me to make it home. So I made it home. Thank God again. I thank God for everything. So I made it home. And I said, God, thank you for letting me make it home. I'm not able to get the bags out the car. I'm going to let my kids get the bags out the car. Which they did with no problem. So I was like, let me just lay down. I don't feel well. Let me drink a lot of water in case I'm dehydrated. And let me get some sleep because I just did a 12-hour shift. So I went to sleep, got back up, and of course I was very extremely tired. I was like really tired. Get my edges flat. So I'm going, okay. So the next morning I got up. And I was lightheaded once again. Tell you again, this is a wig. So a U-part wig, not really good here. So anyway, I was telling my fiance, I'm like, I need to go to the hospital. I'm still feeling this way. I can't even go to the bathroom. I feel lightheaded. I feel weak. And so we went to the hospital, whatever. So when I went to the hospital, remind you, I stayed there for hours, literally hours in the waiting room. And they did like EKG. They took my blood, tested my blood. Even right now, my feet is not feeling their best. But I'm going to put the massager on while I'm doing my hair in a few. So they did all that on me or whatever. And then the lady was like, well, I'm going to put an IV in your arm. I'm like, why? She's like, well, you're going to have to ask the doctor. And I'm like, well, why? You can't tell me why? You putting the IV in my arm, just going to put one in there? She's like, well, I can't tell you that. You can't tell me that with my body? Crazy. So she put the IV in my arm. I was pissed. She had pissed me off. And then, so I found out I was getting a CT done. And I'm like, but why I need an IV in my arm for a CT? So I was not knowledgeable about what was going on with me or what they was doing. So I ended up going to the back to do a CT test. And I asked the lady, I said, I know you probably don't know, but I was trying to figure out what's about to happen and why I'm getting this done. She's like, oh, they just do this when somebody come in for feeling lightheaded or dizzy or whatever. She was like, I hate when they don't explain it to the patients because everybody may not want to get this done. So I actually went under the machine. I hate the machines. And she was like, I'm gonna let you know when I put the dye in. I'm like, oh Lord. So she put the dye in, right? When she put the dye in, I literally felt everything. I felt the dye even in my private part, guys. In my private part. I was like, I ain't ever felt like this before. And I'm like, this normal? She's like, you gonna feel it everywhere, baby. She mean everywhere. So they did like a CT of my chest or whatever. And so I went back to the front, sat there for hours and hours. And so I went there for hours and hours, whatever. And then you probably hear my family in the background. So after a few hours, someone tried to cause a fire. I don't know who did. So everybody had to leave. And then we came back in the hospital maybe 20 minutes from then. And then the doctor was like, he was like, we're just going to discharge you. I don't know how long it's going to take. And we're going to put you on some medication. I was like, you think it may be my sinuses? Because I do have sinuses really bad at work, or a few months from now. Well, for months. My nose been running crazy. Been running real bad. Sneezing a whole lot. Coughing every now and then, but not a lot. And so he was like, okay, we're going to get you some medication or whatever. He was like, your COVID test won't come back until tomorrow. And we'll call you if you're positive. If you are not positive, we will not call you. And I'm like, okay, that's very strange. How you not going to call me? I'm confused. Like, do you got the right number? Or there was, like, you know, how you not going to call me? So anyway, I'm like, okay. So he was like, he's going to discharge me. So I stayed that day. I stayed in the hospital for like 8 hours. Okay. I went home, took the medication he gave me. I was like, I'm not feeling good, still not feeling well. Fiance had to go to work. I had to take the kids to school. And I'm like, I can't even take my kids to school. I still feel lightheaded. I feel weak or whatever. And I'm like, I just don't like this feeling that I'm feeling. And I'm like, I'm trying to take my kids to school with no energy. Feel like I'm about to fucking faint. I'm sorry, Curtis. Feel like I'm about to faint. And I'm like, I don't want to faint while I'm in the car with these kids or while I'm driving. Okay, and then I'm coming home, still not feeling well. The only thing I can do is just lay down. And it's like, I feel like I sound like I'm okay, but I wasn't feeling like I was okay. So days went by maybe like 3 or 4 days. I'm like, I'm still not feeling fine. And I'm like getting very emotional that I'm not feeling okay. I'm not feeling my best. And it was not changing. Then I was not even understanding what was I going through. So anywho, I'll do this part. So anyway, I'm getting emotional. I'm like talking to my fiance while he's at work, telling him like, I haven't felt like this before. You just don't understand. I can't even do nothing, and this is so hard to process. Then I really don't even know what's going on with me, and I'm just like, my anxiety, I do have real bad anxiety. So my anxiety kicking in because, I can't even take my kids to school. I can't make me nothing to eat or stand up for too long to even make myself something to eat, or stand on my foot to even really do my kids' hair or get them ready to prepare for school. And like, I literally got so emotional. I ended up crying. And then next thing you know, I got off the phone with him. And then I called my friend. And next thing you know, I was sitting down literally in my bed. And I just felt like I was about to faint. And I'm like, how I feel like I'm about to faint when I'm in my bed? Last time it happened to me when I was, in a store walking or something like that. But hold on, my camera about to die. Give me 1 second. Guys, I'm back. And I forget what I was about to say, but I was on the phone with my friend, and I told her to call my fiance. I told her to call my fiance. I'm like, cause girl, like, I need to go to the emergency room. We need to come home, take us to the emergency room. I can't drive myself to the emergency room. And so I knew he was gonna take a minute. I'm like, he had to get the key. I'm like, thinking about my kids at the same time. So I just told her to call him. And eventually we got in touch with him. And let me take more than it out. No, I'm taking it out. Finally we got in touch with him, guys. So he was the kids. My mom supposed to come and take him to the hospital. And then I felt like she took forever. Okay? I felt like she took forever. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna end up calling the ambulance with my friend. She did stay on the phone with me the whole time. And then my fiance called. He was on the phone with me the whole time too. It was a very, very scary moment, even though I'm not explaining it that way. So I ended up going back to the hospital a few days later, less than 5 days. And I went to the hospital. I'm sorry, I got a burp. So I went to the hospital one night, and I actually stayed there for longer than the first time. I was there for more than 8 hours, more than 12 hours. Okay. People was waiting, stayed longer than me. And this, when I say waiting, meaning I haven't made it to the back. Okay. So my mom came, she stayed there with me or whatever. Because I went through ambulance. I'm sorry. Let me redo this. I went through the ambulance, so she came up there with me, and I was telling her she can go home. And then I'm like, well, I'm lying to her. And I'm like, I really don't want to be by myself. Because my fiance was at home with the kids, and I know he wants to be there with me. And my kids at home, and they was worried about me. They was texting me. I didn't have any energy to even talk to them. My daughter texted me. I couldn't text her back. I text her, but I didn't want to text her back. I feel a little lightheaded, guys. A little lightheaded right now. I love my kids to death, so I probably gotta redo these. I don't know about these. But I told her I'm okay because she was worried. My kids, they worried. Especially if, they haven't happened to me before. So anywho, I told my baby I'm fine. I'm at the hospital. I'll talk and text you later just so she know it. I'll talk to her later. Ain't no point of me watching her text and I can't text her back because I didn't have the energy to do so. And it killed me. So anywho, we finally went to the room. Maybe 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Finally went in the room. They did like a x-ray of my foot. They did they looked at my labs, and they were saying that my labs is really, really well. And looked at my nose, and my nose was very swollen. And he was saying that, oh, your allergies, your sinus is very bad. Very bad. He said, other than that, like, you really, really healthy. And I'm like, okay, but why am I feeling this way? You hear me? Like, I'm not here just to be here. So, the doctor ended up doing like a head test on me to see if they see anything up there in my head. The doctor never came back, so I don't know what he didn't come back. The nurse came back in there, and she was just like, okay, here goes medication. I'm looking like, what's going on? What's up? Like, you give me medication, but I'm like, what's going on with me? Why I'm feeling this way? Why I'm coming back to the hospital again? And I think I missed some parts out, guys. I think. Okay, and let me get to this story. But I think I skipped the whole section of what I had to tell y'all. I think I had like a panic attack because of the fact I didn't know what was going on in my body. So that's basically what was there. So let me get back to track and tell you what was going on. And it's only half of my head. I'm gonna have to do a part 2. So, anywho, I can't see the back of my head. I can't if I was no but I got like a mirror at the top right here. Yeah, I can't see. But anywho, so she was like, well, they're gonna give you. They believe you have like a ear infection, because they gave you some medicine that works for the ears. So I'm just gonna give you this. And so he gave me that, and I'm like, days passed by, maybe 3 days, and I still wasn't feeling anything approving. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to give me a PCP doctor, because ain't no point of us going back and forth to the hospital, because they can't do nothing for me. They not making no sense. They act like they can't find anything. And I'm like, why am I feeling this way? Blah, blah, blah. And I went to the doctor's office, and I was telling him so much stuff going on. He was like, no, this don't make sense. He's like, my feet is, I feel like my feet was swollen, guys. It felt swollen to me. It don't look swollen, but it felt different. Like, it was like pain in my feet. And I ended up thinking that I had high blood pressure. I was thinking 100 million things, guys. And he was like, that don't match up. And I'm like, I don't know. But I could just tell you my feet feel like I'm walking on rocks. And he was like, okay. And I was telling him about my sinuses. He was like, girl, you are all over the place. Which I was. And so he ended up giving me some medicine, which when I came home, realized that was over-the-counter medicine, so I had to pay for it. Okay? So I was very disappointed about them. Like, how can you dare give me over-the-counter medicine? You could just told me that, and I would have went and go pay for it. Okay? And so I was upset about that part. Upset. Should I do the front or the back? So I ended up getting medication. I felt better, but not like myself. So my feet ended up hurting me really, really bad. It was like I can walk. I wasn't feeling that much dizzy. So I'm like, I need to go back to the doctor, because I don't like this. I'm like, I'm still feeling the same way. So I went back to the doctor a week later. Maybe less. Maybe like 4 or 5 days later. And I'm telling you, the struggle was real, guys. I did not know what was going on. So I ended up going back to the doctor's office. And he was telling me he believed I have a bone marrow in my foot. And he also told me the medication has only been a week. It's going to take longer than that, which I realized when I did my research. I didn't know how true it was. They were saying with the ear fluid in your ear, it could take up to 2 to 6 weeks, or 2 to 6 months. And I'm like, this a long time, baby, because I haven't worked in like a month, guys. I haven't been working a month. They said I need some moolah. You know what I mean? I know y'all know what I mean. So I'm like, okay. So this is real, guys. It's most definitely real. And I'm like, okay, I may got a foot mirror. He's like, some people have surgery. And I'm like, I hope we don't get to that part. But, do anything to fix. I'm sorry, my sinus is bothering me. That's why y'all see me scratching my nose a lot. So, yeah, I kept going to the hospital. I kept getting on my doctor, nurse, and he was like, I only get paid for one thing. You come here with multiple things, girl. Baby, I don't know what to do. I'm gonna keep coming to you. You gotta go every day. But he was like, some people come in for a quick fix. And I'm like, sir, doctor, I am here for the quick fix, okay? I need to get this done. I can't even work out. I'm gaining weight. Baby, I have gained like 5 or 6 pounds within this time frame. And then he gave me some steroids. It's supposed to dry up my sinuses and also help with my foot. But I don't like taking pills, as y'all may or may not know. I hate taking pills. I will try to do it the healthy way, but I have no choice but to take these pills. So that's what I've been doing, because baby girls need a fix. But not only that, I've been massaging my feet. This foot massager. Y'all, it was so I couldn't even take a bath like twice a day like I normally do. cuz cut off, y'all. I couldn't take a bath like I normally do. I had to take it once a day. And now I still gotta take a bath once a day, but I sit there and sit in the tub for, you know, a few hours. Well, not a few hours, but like 30, 45 minutes just to make sure I do a full clean, because I don't take like a shower twice a day. So now I have to take a bath and been there for a long time. So I can just get my body to just mellow and just feel comfortable. So I have not feel better. But let me tell y'all, it's a twist to this story. A twist. So when I went to the doctor, and while I went on my curls, so I got a whole new side to do. And I've been talking for a long time, so I'm doing part 2. So anyway, I went to the doctor. He told me that the hospital couldn't find nothing on you. He got the results. He was like, they couldn't find nothing on you. I'm like, but why they tell me I had an ear infection? He was like, they couldn't find nothing. Your labs, everything was good. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so bad. And he was like, no, it's not. That's really, really good. I'm like, but I'm trying to figure out why I'm feeling like this, because I call myself being healthy, eating right, working out. Now I can't even move around like I normally do. I gain weight. I'm on medication that's going to help me gain more weight. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting on my butt all day. So I'm trying to make sense of how is this okay? He was like, it's good they didn't find anything. I'm like, well, why did they lie and say that this is going on with me? I guess they had to come up with some lie, huh? Like, all my lab work was good and everything. And he gave me a copy of it just to make sure he know that whatever he's telling me is true. So, I'm going to do a part 2, guys. I'm sorry. I'm going to do a part 2 because I did get referred to a specialist. I'm sorry. I did get referred to a specialist, guys. And I'm saying what happened. It was a different experience. And remind you, I haven't been working for a week, so I need somebody to talk to me. Come on, guys. Are y'all here? Okay. So, I'll see you in the next video, part 2. Love and sex, okay?